Welcome to this video on subtraction. The aim of this video is to go through the language, the mathematical language around subtraction in Irish primary schools today. The context of the video is to clarify some of the language that's currently used in some primary schools and to ensure that the right language or the most up-to-date language is used. There's a bit of history behind subtraction in primary schools in Ireland. Back in the olden days, there used to be a concept known as borrow and payback, which was supposed to have died off by the 1970s, but it's amazing to think that in some schools even today borrow and payback is still taught. What replaced it was the concept of renaming or regrouping, but because the two sort of overlapped, some sort of hybrid accepted version of this has crept into Irish primary schools, and I suppose what this video aims to do is go through what the idea of renaming is and why we do it. To start off, to be able to do this, we need to understand place value, and that's what we need to be teaching our children first about manipulating numbers and making sure that they understand that the number 24 is 2 tens and 4 units and how that can be changed and manipulated and turned into other numbers such as 110 and 14 units, and getting loads of practice with concrete materials such as Dean's blocks, lollipop sticks, items like that, before moving on to picture-based picture representations, and then obviously the numbers. So once you've done a lot of practice of that, you are ready for subtraction. There's no point in starting subtraction unless they're fluent in place value. So just as I said, that's the key. Before you do subtraction, we need to see it in action. So we're just going to shift over to this website to try to see it in action. So this is a transition board as such, and we have the problem, which is 64 take away 37. So we've got 6 tens and 4 units, and we're taking away 37. Now, I'm going to go through the language of how we would solve this. So we start with the units or the ones, and we say 4 take away 7. We can't do. And rather than saying we borrow from the tens, because that's not what we're doing, we're actually going to rename the number 64. We're not actually going to do anything else. We're going to rename the number 64. And how that looks like with blocks is that you bring the 110 over and rename it into 10 units. So what you've got left there are 5 tens and 14 units. And then we can actually do the subtraction sum quite easily, as you can see. So we'll just have a look. We'll go back to our PowerPoint presentation there to see that. So 64 take away 37. What we've done is we've renamed the number to 5 tens and 14 units, or 5014, and we get the answer 27 fairly easily. As we move up the ranks in second and third class, we have bigger numbers. Same concept, simply rename the number 125. I'm doing it in 2 steps here. First of all, we rename the 25 to 110 and 15 units, and then we rename the 100 and the 110 that's left to 0 hundreds and 11 tens. And then we can do the subtraction very easily. We're always manipulating the top number rather than taking loads of steps into doing it. Get the number at the top right, and you can easily do the subtraction sum there. So we're looking at 100,001 take away 9, which is the most popular thing you'll see in 5th and 6th class books. If you know how to rename, this shouldn't be difficult. In the past, you're looking at things like 1 take away 9 you can't do, so you go to your neighbour, and then he goes to his neighbour, and then he goes to his neighbour. It just takes ages. Just rename that number, but if they're fluent in this and built themselves up all the way, they should be able to do that in one fell swoop and turn the number into 99,911. Which is exactly the same as 100,001 take away the 9, and then simply complete the sum. So that's basically it. It's as straightforward as that. The 2 key things to remember is place value and concrete materials. Need to get children fluent in place value, and the only way of doing that is through the use of concrete materials. And when you move on to subtraction, bring those concrete materials back before you just go on with the symbology. I hope this video helps you with your teaching and with the children's learning. Thanks very much.